Good morning, Pittsburgh. Welcome to Pitt to the Point, live from the state-of-the-art Pitt Studios. I'm Margot Rensel.
And I'm Mia Wadella. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Pitt to the Point is your one-hour news magazine show that covers everything at the University of Pittsburgh to its regional campuses.
To the City of Pittsburgh, as well as national and international news. We'll be covering everything from entertainment, politics, and sports.
And we'll be sure to keep you updated on all things Pittsburgh, all the way to the point. For our first story, we have entertainment reporter Anthony Siki, who is joined live with Pittsburgh Film Office representative Don Keyser. Anthony.
Thanks, gals. So today we are fortunate enough to be joined with Don Keyser, the director of the Pittsburgh Film Office. The Pittsburgh Film Office covers about 10 counties in the southwestern Pennsylvania, accounting for over 200 films being produced in the area since their inception in 1990, cementing Pittsburgh as a giant in the film industry. Dawn, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. So we're just going to jump right into the questions. So since 1990, when the PFO was formed, it seems incrementally that there are more films being produced in Pittsburgh each year. Why do you think that Pittsburgh is such a destination for filmmakers?
Well, it's a great place to be, as we all know, since we're here. We have an amazing crew that live and work here, and is really one of the drawing cards for why people want to shoot in southwestern Pennsylvania. The number one reason anyone here is because of the film tax credit program. Pennsylvania put it in place about 17 years ago, and it's a $100 million economic incentive to the film industry that encourages them to come here, hire our local people, utilize our local businesses, and film in southwestern Pennsylvania. So it's great for everybody.
Absolutely. What kind of role has that played in the bringing filmmakers to southwestern Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania as a whole?
Well, the incentives now, there's 42 states in this country that offer an incentive. Pennsylvania is in the top 10. Pittsburgh is in the top 5 places people want to film and make movies. So it's our calling card. It's the reason they come. It's the reason they want to be here. And without the incentives, coupled with our amazing crew, our wonderful locations where you can look like anything, as long as you don't need a beach or a desert, 2 things we're still missing in Pittsburgh, but we're working on those. Other than those things, that's why we draw everyone here, and it's why they keep coming back to film, and you keep seeing more and more people coming to film all the time.
Awesome. So you mentioned that there are more and more people coming to film in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh specifically. Since the inception of the tax credit in 2016, has there been any adjustments made to accommodate for more people?
Well, we got a little bit of money this year. I say little. If it was mine and yours, it'd be a lot. It was a $30 million increase, which was a 30% increase. We went from $70 million to $100 million. But we have high hopes for Governor Josh Shapiro. He drops his budget in about a week and a half, will be his new budget. And we hope he's going to dramatically increase the film tax credits, which then you'll see more people, more work, more money pouring into this region's economy from this viable economic engine.
Awesome. So then transitioning to the Pittsburgh Film Office, tomorrow we actually have your Lights, Glamour, Action, your annual fundraiser. How does the Pittsburgh Film Office use these funds to support filmmakers in southwestern Pennsylvania?
Well, the Film Office, we're a 501c3 nonprofit, which means people can make contributions to our office and take it off their taxes. So it's a win-win for everyone. But what the fundraiser does is it's our essential fundraiser. This is how we keep the lights on. It's how we keep the office open. This is how we keep increasing our photo library that has over 50,000 images that span all of the 10-county area in southwestern Pennsylvania. We create that one-stop shop for all filmmakers. So whether you're looking for a permit, the ability to close a street, trying to find crew, find a hotel, find office supplies, any of those things you need while you're here filming in southwestern Pennsylvania, it allows us the opportunity to continue our operations to serve all those multiple needs.
Awesome. So how are the people watching at home able to actually support with this fundraiser or in any other fundraisers for the Pittsburgh Film Office?
That's a great question. So we have Lights, Glamour, Action. It's open to the public. It's super fun. It's a black tie optional gala. It's held at the Pennsylvania, one of the old train stations downtown. It's a lot of fun. You get to get dressed up, coming out with your friends. We've got some really great entertainment, some amazing auction items, and it's just a really good time, and it's a great way to celebrate the film industry in Southwestern PA. But if you can't make it, you can go to our website, which is pghfilm.org, pghfilm.org. There's a link to the auction. So we have a live auction with some really great stuff. You know, Kenny Pickett's rookie jersey signed. We've got a Ben Roethlisberger signed one too. We've got some great stuff from the various, we have some great stuff from the zoo and the Warhol Museum, and just lots of fun auction items. It's an easy way to support the film office. And then look, we also sell t-shirts and sweatshirts. We kind of do everything except have a car wash and a bake sale to keep this place going. So we're happy to have all the support, but really what's great is what draws people here is how friendly the people are in Southwestern Pennsylvania to the companies that are here filming. And we just ask everybody stay in the know. Go to our website. We're on every social media channel that exists. And it's a great way for you to follow along and keep involved in the film industry in Southwestern PA.
Awesome. So you mentioned that a big drawing point is the how nice the people in Southwestern Pennsylvania are. In what other ways has the Pittsburgh Film Office been able to promote Pittsburgh as a filming location?
Well, most recently, Movie Maker magazine named us one of the best places to live and work as a filmmaker. We're number 10 in the top 10 out of the top 25 markets in the country. What was exciting about it this year is we're usually lumped with the small cities, which was populations under 200,000. But as most people know, we got more people in Allegheny County this year, so we ended up going up against the big guys, and we still stayed in the top 10. So that story's out there. People know our best customers are our repeat customers, and they all speak to each other. Directors talk to each other. Producers speak to each other. Our crew, it's some of the best in the country, and producers tell people that. So we just keep helping make sure people can tell that story. We have a YouTube channel, PFO TV. We're doing some workforce training new people to get in this industry. So you'll see us out talking about how to become a grip, how to become an electrician. Right now, we're doing a hair training to teach people how to work hair in the film industry. And the more of those are coming. So we just constantly are out there telling the story about all the opportunities that are here in Southwestern Pennsylvania in the film industry for everyone to be a part of.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dawn, for coming out and talking with us about the Pittsburgh Film Office, lights, glamour, action, and Pittsburgh as a film industry. We really appreciate you coming out and talking with us tonight.
Well, it was great. And thank you so much, Anthony. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Absolutely. You too, Dawn. And if you at home would like to support the Pittsburgh Film Office, you could go over to their website, pghfilm.org, and support in any way you can. Share their site. Do anything you want. From Pitt to the Point, I'm your entertainment reporter, Anthony Siki. Mia, Margot.
Thanks, Anthony. Next, we take a look at the Student Government Board at the University of Pittsburgh.
The Student Government Board represents the interests and needs of the student body.
From allocating for student activities to fundraising for programs, they do it all.
Every spring semester, new members are elected into the board. Presidential candidate Ryan Young will be running with his board under SGB Illuminate, Katie Fitzpatrick, Sarah Mayer, and Sarah Siddiqui. Under Disrupt, candidates include Katie Emmert and Olivia Rosati.
Presidential candidate Corbin McCarr will be running independently. Other independent board candidates include Brandon Isermoyer and Matt Zurich.
Since 1913, the Pitt News has been providing people accurate and timely news.
We are proud to feature them on our show. Take a look at their latest headlines.
This week, we got the chance to talk with the editor-in-chief of the Pitt News about all of the major awards and honorable mentions the newspaper won at this year's Keystone Student Media Awards.
Overall, we won 2 first-place awards, 2 second-place awards, and 4 honorable mentions. And then Alexandra Ross, who is an assistant news editor, won basically a statewide competition that awards a college journalist from Pennsylvania who has outstanding contributions to their newsroom. I feel really grateful to work with such talented people, and they definitely deserve all of the accolades they get. Their work is really amazing, and I think it's just a testament to how talented they are. So if you want to get more involved with the Pitt News, you can check out our website at pittnews.com/application at the beginning of every semester, or you can always follow our work on pittnews.com or on our social media.
When we come back, Pitt has an ambitious plan to tackle the mental and physical needs of students.
Also, what is the state of the food options for students in Oakland? We have the answers right when we get back.
And later in our show, members from a student organization at Pitt are dedicated to training special helpers.
See you right after the break.
Officially back and in the books.
Stefanski just shoots and she scores. They're the winningest team in Pittsburgh history.
Ball sent in, Sullivan, Pittsburgh 1-0.
Great strike, Michael Sullivan.
Pittsburgh has a share of the ACC title in 2022.
The record set by Tony Dorsett has been broken by Israel Abanikanda here.
The Pitt Panthers are going into the next round for the first time in program history.
Out our website yet? Well, if you haven't, give it a look.
If you want to see all your Pitt to the Point faves and stay up on current events, check us out on pittothepoint.com.
And if you want to learn more about the magic that happens behind the scenes and see more of our good-looking team, check us out on our social media.
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Pitt to the Point. Check it out.
We are moving full steam ahead, Margot, with our next story.
Mia, what does STEAM stand for?
I'm pretty sure STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, art. And Margot, remind me, what does that stand for?
It's mathematics.
Of course.
Today, we are taking a look at one foundation that is devoting their time to teach young Black students about the importance of STEAM.
Let's hear from our business and technology reporter, Maddie McLeod, for more. Maggie?
According to the National Institute of Science, Black men make up just 3% of the science and engineering occupations within the United States. But rather than letting this lack of diversity go unresolved, Executive Director of the Josh Gibson Foundation, Sean Gibson, is working to make an inclusive environment within his community and even within his own middle school that he used to go to. Take a look.
Hey guys, have a seat. Have a seat.
I said, what do you do with it? And that's what she told me what it stood for, like what STEAM stood for and stuff. And I'm like, oh, like, that's interesting.
What does STEAM stand for?
Science, technology, engineering, arts.
Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
Well, number one, I went to the school, and I wanted to give back to the community that I grew up in. And so the principal, Miss Merlot, is a good friend of mine. I asked her what kind of program does she need. Beginning, of course, it was rough, trying to get boys together for a STEAM program. But I think once they got involved with the activities and working with NSBE, I think the kids really enjoyed working with those college students and working with the different activities. If you have any questions for Peter, raise your hand, I'll call on you.
The question is, why do you think ethics are important in engineering?
I am a member of the National Society of Black Engineers at Pitt NSBE. I feel like I've gotten so many good things from the Pittsburgh community, the University of Pittsburgh, and the people who've served me here, and I'd like to give back in some way. So the Josh Gibson Foundation came in as one of my main roles as the torch chair is to help set up lesson plans for the children in the Josh Gibson Foundation and introduce them to different STEAM principles and concepts.
You know, the first thing I ask our students is how many you know about Josh Gibson? Josh Gibson is a famous Negro League baseball player, and I think some of our kids don't understand anything about the Negro Leagues. When I kind of break it down to them, it's saying that, you know, back in those days, it was a black league and a white league. And because of Josh Gibson's color of his skin, wasn't able to play in major leagues.
He was a prominent baseball player and wanted to find ways to give back to the community. And so this Josh Gibson Foundation has various facets that offer ways for underrepresented minorities and various people to receive resources in the community.
It makes me feel like relieved, like that, like we can finally do things that we wasn't able to do many years ago.
I feel like it's really an honor to be in the situation that I am now, being able to finish my education, because I know back in those times not everybody had as many opportunities as people, and especially African Americans, have now.
You know, when we do our orientation with the NSBE students, outside of the engineering piece, I also talk to them about how they grew up. They came from a single parent home, a low income home. They were raised by their grandparents, because if some kid hear that story of a NSBE student, that can encourage them to also do well. So, you know, for our NSBE students, it's not just about them teaching the kids about engineering, it's also teaching the kids about life in general.
I think it's a very important thing to teach STEM in the classroom, because at a young age, I really do think that it's important to have children ingrained in their minds that the world is your oyster. Yeah, the world is your oyster. There's so many people in the world that tell you what you can't do. But as a young black man, young black woman, or any person, you can do anything that you put your mind to.
I just want to make the black community proud that kids can do this stuff.
To make a difference inside this world and show that anyone can do anything.
It truly is inspiring to see such young students get excited about inventing and engineering. And who knows, maybe one of these students will be reporting on one of their projects in the future as a business and technology reporter. But for now, I'm Pitch of the Point business and technology reporter Maggie McLeod. Margot and Mia?
Maggie. More often than not, Pitt students arrive at the Burial Recreation Center to face an overcrowded gym.
Well, I have exciting news for the Pitt community. The University of Pittsburgh is currently building a new wellness center.
Let's take a look.
At the University of Pittsburgh, we know that progress never comes from standing still. Mental and physical wellness are key elements in Pitt student success. And now the university is building a space, a connector, that will be home to facilities and programs to support all aspects of the mental and physical wellness of our students. The Campus Recreation and Wellness Center is designed using important feedback from advisory panels of undergraduate and graduate students, faculty, and staff.
Our vision for the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center is that it will be a transformative space in the heart of campus that serves as the intersection of well-being for the Pitt community. Put another way, our vision is to create the newest, coolest, and healthiest place on campus.
This innovative multi-story facility will encompass all aspects of health and wellness. Estimated at 270,000 square feet, it will include a recreation pool, a jogging track, weightlifting equipment, multi-activity courts for basketball, volleyball, and many other activities, food and dining options, and more.
Coming to college is like an entirely new start for a lot of people, and so it can be a scary place, it can be a land of total opportunity, but above all else, something that a lot of people learn that they need to do is they really need to take care of themselves. And so the University of Pittsburgh, having that precedent to actually do that kind of thing for students in one central location, that's a huge thing.
As students, you go through a lot of unique stressors. And so I feel that the Recreation Center really is revolutionary in terms of maximizing student well-being and focusing on the student as a whole.
As we begin a new phase in the evolution of the student experience at Pitt, supporting the holistic well-being of our diverse, talented, and ambitious undergraduate and graduate students is imperative. We are a world-class university with world-class students, faculty, and staff. And our students deserve the best collegiate experience in the world. The new campus recreation and wellness center is a game changer.
Our next story highlights a passionate football fanatic that knows all things sports, especially Pitt football.
Let's take it to our Pitt sports reporter, Erin Clark, for more on the story. Erin?
Thanks, Margot. From alumni across the country to students right here in Oakland, everyone that reps the blue and gold has passionate support for the Pitt football team. But for Executive Associate Athletic Director E.J. Borghetti, this love for the Panthers runs deeper than the average fan, and the football program carries heartfelt family ties. Borghetti reflects on just why his position is so special to him.
My name is E.J. Borghetti. I'm the Executive Associate Athletic Director for Media Relations, or as I like to refer to myself as the sports info guy. You know, my profession is a personal passion of mine, and I have a personal investment in the University of Pittsburgh and certainly Pitt football. I never had the opportunity to actually wear the blue and gold jersey, wear the helmet, but my father did.
From the Irish 1, Rick Leeson plunges over for the score, and Pittsburgh is on top.
Every day I walk down the hallways of the Pitt football facility, and there are images of the first-team All-Americans who played for the Panthers, and proud to say that my father was a first-team All-America tackle in 1963. In fact, my first Pitt football game was in the fall of 1976.
The Panthers won the national championship of college football
at the tender age of 6, and it's been a part of my life now for 45 years and counting. Pitt football in the Borghetti household, we treat it like Christmas, holidays. They are always special, special times for our family. What I love about this team, hardworking. It earned 11 wins. It earned our first ever outright ACC football championship. I think this team represents the very best of who Pitt is, the best of Western Pennsylvania. By winning the ACC championship, the reward is to be able to play in a New Year's Six Bowl. And for Pitt to have the opportunity to play in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl is a great reward for a championship season.
The Panthers are ACC champions.
I am blessed. You know, the Pitt football family has become my family. And that's one of the great blessings of this job. And I know it's going to be a great experience down in Atlanta.
E.J. Borghetti has served the University of Pittsburgh Athletic Department for over 2 decades and considers Pitt to be his home. He continues to value time shared with players and prioritizes fostering relationships with fellow staff members. The Panthers can look ahead to next season as the 2023 Pitt football schedule has recently been released. Key dates that stand out are September 16th, when the Panthers travel to Morgantown for the historic backyard brawl against West Virginia University. Another interesting matchup will take place in South Bend, Indiana on October 28th, with a significant game against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. The Panthers look to be ranked among the top 25 teams in the country and once again make a run for that ACC title. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt sports reporter Erin Clark. Mia, Margot?
Thank you for that Pitt sports update, Erin. Margot, do you know anything about football?
I know the lyrics to Sweet Caroline. Does that count?
Time for you to take a lesson with EJ. After our break, one Pittsburgh Pirate is showing some love to some Pitt students.
Also, we have insight into one Pitt alumni who is revolutionizing the Pitt band one note at a time.
All that and more after the break.
We are the University of Pittsburgh, forged in a blue-collar city with gold standards, where innovators, researchers, thinkers, and healers are always reaching for new heights. There is no limit to what we can accomplish when we put our minds, our hands, our soul, and spirit toward it. Here, progress is always in progress. Hail to Pitt, proud partner of the ACC.
Welcome back. The English Language Institute fosters learning for international students at the University of Pittsburgh.
This past fall, these international students got lucky enough to take a trip to PNC Park where they got to meet someone very special.
Our city sports reporter, Amelia Pearson, has more on the story. Amelia?
Thanks, guys. Now, I don't know about you, but I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting, and baseball season is finally around the corner. But since the Pirates are still in Florida for spring training, let's throw it back to last season when members of the English Language Institute at Pitt got to meet Pirates player Yoshi Tetsuga.
We're here with a group of international students studying in our intensive English program through one of our partnerships with Yasuda Women's University in Hiroshima, Japan. And they're especially excited to be here tonight because before the game, we will get to meet Yoshi Tetsuga, a Japanese player who's on the Pirates team.
もう本当に日本人の人とこうやって会えて、すごく嬉しかった。Really happy to see, students from Japan come over here and meet me. Welcome to University of Pittsburgh.
I'm really excited.
It was great to see them, have a chance to meet someone from Japan.
I think the fact that it's just such a new experience, they're really enjoying it. They're excited, they love learning and talking to new people. It was a good time.
One of the things that our students always say is, at the end of the program, they're thrilled with how much their language skills have improved. They're very happy of, their experience with American culture.
I'm excited to learn English because if I improve my English skills, I can listen and talk with other people. I've learned a lot of it.
It's not just about improving their English, it's developing them as individuals. It's those special things that, make the memories for our students, and they improve their English, but they leave our program with more than just language skills. It's the memories, the experience, learning American culture, making friends at the university. Yeah, so we hope they enjoy it.
Now, opening day is April 7th against the Chicago White Sox. I can't wait to see Andrew McCutchen suited up again and that brand new scoreboard. I'll be there, will you? From Pitt to the Point, I'm City Sports reporter Amelia Pearson. Mia, Margot?
Thank you for that, Amelia. In this new age of technology, there's an app for everything. But have you ever thought about who creates these apps?
We are highlighting Pitt alum that has changed the future for marching bands across the country with just an app.
I graduated in December of 2019. Got my degrees in both computer science and music composition, starting about end of sophomore year, beginning of junior year. I started this app called Flip Folder, and what it does is you can start a performance in the app and select a song, and it will just come up automatically on every single device in the band. There's notations, there's basically any feature you can think of that might be useful for viewing music.
Well, Marcus had been in the band, and we had started using a box for music for the students, and it was kind of clumsy. It didn't work as well as we hoped it might. And Marcus decided on his own, I'm going to develop this app and all of the things that he would want in it that would help us, and make it a lot easier for all of the players. So I knew nothing about it until one day he emailed us and said, hey, I've been working on this app. Is it okay if we give this a try? Here's what it'll do. I said yes.
I'd have to say it's been a pretty good asset for the Pitt band because just having the ability to know what your music is, not to have to pull through everything, it's not going to get wet. It's just your phone. And so it's very accessible. It's very easy.
Well, first of all, there's a big sense of pride about it. Like this was developed for us. We're the first ones to use it. It helps a lot because we can move more quickly. We don't have to spend time copying music and passing music out. If we hear something in rehearsal and go, boy, I didn't like that, we're going to rewrite this part. We can do that in an instant. If we decide, we've got a short little tune we want to play at the next rehearsal, we can write it, put it right in there, and be ready to go right away.
Basically, I was just in band at a game, and I had a moment there where I was in the stands, and I just kind of thought, well, okay, well, all these people are disconnected. Like, we had a moment where they mentioned a song, put it over the speaker, and there half the band I could see weren't even flipping to it because they were just too jaded. So right then and there, I just thought, well, okay, the phone isn't just a screen. The phone's got Bluetooth, the phone's got internet, the phone's got NFC. That right now, all the music viewing apps that existed, we're only using it as a screen. Dr. Brent Townsend and everybody involved in the band staff being so accepting of this was really a big thing for me, because if I'd have gone to them and said, showed them the app, if their reaction was, oh, we can't use this, it didn't work, then everything would have stopped there. So if you're a student who's looking to be more of an entrepreneur, think about those more niche solutions, because you're more likely to create a product that is unique.
Our Pitt alumni truly are something special. Mia, did you ever think that the Pitt band used an app when you're listening to it at football games?
It's just Sweet Caroline to me. Ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, the topic of vaccines has been more widespread than ever.
Dr. Paul Dupree is the director for the Center for Vaccine Research at the University of Pittsburgh.
Here is a glimpse into the research that he does for vaccines.
I'm Paul Dupree, and I'm the Director of the Center for Vaccine Research at the University of Pittsburgh. This is Ask a Professor. So vaccines come in multiple flavours. There's different ways of making a vaccine, and what we really want to do with them is teach your immune system what the pathogen looks like, the virus, the bacterium, before you meet it, before it can cause a disease. And what we do is we teach the immune system what the pathogen looks like. So we inject inactivated viruses which can't cause the disease. We inject weakened viruses. We inject little bits of viruses which then are teaching your immune system to make antibodies, and that's the basic premise behind all vaccines. Make antibodies that are ready to go, are ready to fight, are ready to beat infection so that it does not cause a disease.
Truly inspiring. When we come back, we'll learn about one of the hundreds of clubs at Pitt.
The University of Pittsburgh's library system also has a special story on some archives.
We'll be right back, Pittsburgh.
H2P is short for Hail to Pitt, our Panther fight song. But we also use it to express just how much we love it here. There are so many reasons to hail, but here are just a few. Hail to Kathy! Hail to the Nationality Room.
To WPTS Radio.
Hail to Oakland.
Hail to Shenley Plaza.
Hail to Forbes Avenue.
Hail to the towers.
Hail to Cardiac Hill.
To Hillman Library.
Hail to the University of Pittsburgh.
Hail to Pittsburgh.
Hail to Heinz Field.
Hail to Pitt.
Welcome back, Pittsburgh. College students need a lot of brain fuel for the amount of time they spend studying.
But what happens when students do not have enough access to a grocery store within walking distance?
Our Pitt beat reporter Nick Faribaugh has the latest on this current problem. Nick?
Every day, people go to the grocery store to get some basic items, like this container of milk, or this bottle of water, or even this loaf of bread. But for everybody, it's not so easy. In Oakland, it's a food desert, and many of its residents are wondering why it's not getting addressed.
Every day, everywhere, people go out to buy groceries to maintain their lifestyles. However, in Oakland, it's not that easy. There's no mass supermarket in Oakland, and that's cause for concern.
For me at home, at least, because I'm like a 5-minute walk from the supermarket here, you have to at least take a bus to get to something better than like a convenience store level thing.
So I would say it's a hassle, and
a struggle. I mean, I don't go grocery shopping.
But what is a food desert? A food desert is an area with limited access to affordable and healthy food. With no mass supermarket near the area, Oakland would qualify as a food desert.
You have to match up the bus times and the travel back and forth with your class schedule, and being able to fit all of that, whether it's in your dorm in the limited storage they give you or your mini fridge. You still have to carry everything back on the bus. It's not convenient. So you can only get a certain amount of food.
The closest supermarket to the University of Pittsburgh is Giant Eagle on Wharton Street in the South Side. There's also a Target that's over 2 miles away in East Liberty. However, that is not in walking distance, and that qualifies Oakland as a food desert. Forbes Street Market was supposed to correct this issue. However, inflated prices have not made it affordable for all residents and Pitt students.
Forbes Market down the street is very convenient to go to, but if you don't have the meal swap for the day or you're counting dollars, it is very overpriced. Forbes Street Market, which is a bit overpriced for my likings.
With no mass supermarket in the area, people do hope that change could be on the horizon.
Some students do face a food insecurity here. Still not great when it comes to food availability in terms of grocery stores.
However, until a mass supermarket is put in Oakland, food insecurity could still be an issue among Oakland residents and University of Pittsburgh students.
The closest grocery store to Oakland is still far away, certainly more than a walk's away. Forbes Street Market was supposed to address that, but with inflating prices, it has not just yet. And there are no supermarkets in Oakland planned to be built. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt Beat reporter Nick Faribaugh. Margot, Mia.
I will be sure to stay tuned on what is going to happen about the grocery shopping on campus. Our Clubbing at Pitt segment highlights one of 600 plus clubs at the University of Pittsburgh every week that is creating social, professional, and academic opportunities for students on campus.
Pitt Tonight is a student-run organization magazine show that includes comedy, guests, music, a live studio audience, and much more. Let's hear from their executive board on what Pitt Tonight offers.
So, what is your job as an executive producer?
Sure. So, an executive producer of this wonderful show oversees the entire organization, the entire show, every episode, from helping secure the guests that we have, to securing the locations within Pitt's theater spaces, to overseeing all of the departments. So, can you walk me through which ones?
Yeah, so I think we're gonna do guest post tomorrow.
Pretty much what I like to start off with is just getting updates and seeing what's going on, whether that's what stage our monologue's at, or seeing how our marketing plan is turning out, and also just working with our host Nick and making the best show possible. I'm actually very excited for this episode. It's been a goal of mine to have Chancellor Gallagher on. He claims that he's a big fan of it, and we're super happy to hear that.
This is your taxi.
Chancellor Patrick Gallagher.
So Pitt Tonight is a great tradition. It brings us together in a way that only Pitt can do. All class, all fun.
If you're looking for something fun to do tomorrow night, go and check out Pitt Tonight. Pitt Tonight is the university's best and only late night talk show.
From a live studio audience to a sketch comedy to a house band and hilarious show host Nick Casino, it's worth checking out Pitt Tonight.
This week's guests for the show will be mural artist Cameron Camo Nesbitt and the band Ugly. Pitt Tonight takes place tomorrow night at 7:30 in the Richard E. Ross Studio Theater. That is in the basement of the Cathedral of Learning.
People can find tickets by scanning the QR code on the screen or by going to their Instagram @PittTonight. In 2006, the University Library System Archives and Special Collections acquired numerous boxes of articles consisting of speech notes, photographs, and papers of the work of a well-accomplished chairman and CEO of Black Political Empowerment Project.
Our city beat reporter, Alexandra Ross, has more on the story. Alexandra?
Thank you, Margot. Tim Stevens is no stranger to advocacy. Nearly 50 years ago, he started a movement to empower Black voters in the city of Pittsburgh and across the country, and the impact of that advocacy is still felt today. In the past year, Stevens returned to his alma mater to reminisce on where it all started in a class he took right here at Pitt.
I'm Tim Stevens, Chairman and CEO of BPEP, the Black Political Empowerment Project. I'm the co-convener of the Greater Pittsburgh Coalition Against Violence, which is one of BPEP's initiatives, and the facilitator for the Corporate Equity Inclusion Roundtable Working Group, one of the other initiatives of BPEP. I'm a former 10-year president of the NACP Pittsburgh branch, founder of the Black and White Reunion. I'm here at the University of Pittsburgh Library System, Archives and Special Collections. Honored to be here.
Here you are, Tim.
All right. Oh my. You have my lovely writing. You know, I've always been a note taker. I get on my own nerves about notes, but that's when I wrote a little bit better, I see.
Oh, I want to ask you, this is the notebook you used in 1986 when you were starting BPEP.
Are you kidding?
This is your BPEP notebook. You can see.
1986. Wow, that's when we started it.
Yeah.
Look at that. That was June 26, 1986. Like most movements and organizations are born out of upset or need. We didn't have any blacks on city council when we started BPEP in the mid-80s, believe it or not. I was in a course. We were asked to name a complaint in life. It could be you need a new relationship, a new job, a new house, a new apartment, whatever. Stood in front of a predominantly white audience and I said, I'm going to start something called BPEP. And we're going to have a commitment to vote in each and every election. I made it up. I just stood up in front of a bunch of people and said, I'm going to make this up. I'm going to do this. Then you saw my notebook, which I hadn't seen for years myself, where we met with people. Can you buy into this idea of African Americans voting in each and every election, the Urban League, the NACP? Most people in that course had enough sense to end their project in 10 weeks. But here we are, 35 and a half years later. BPEP is one of the most recognized black organizations in the city and in the region.
Tim Stevens is not the only figure in Black Pittsburgh history whose story has been kept alive by the University Archive System. In fact, just this past week, the August Wilson Archive opened. You can check it out now at the Hillman Library right here in Oakland. For Pitt to the Point, I'm your city beat reporter, Alexandra Ross. Margot, Mia?
Thanks, Alexandra. Informed on what's going on with the branch campuses.
Stay tuned.
We are the University of Pittsburgh, forged in a blue-collar city with gold standards, where innovators, researchers, thinkers, and healers are always reaching for new heights. There is no limit to what we can accomplish when we put our minds, our hands, our soul, and spirit toward it. Here, progress is always in progress. Hail to Pitt, proud partner of the ACC.
Officially back and in the books.
Stefanski just shoots and she scores. They're the winningest team in Pittsburgh history.
Ball sent in, Sullivan, Pittsburgh, 1-0.
Great strike, Michael Sullivan.
Pittsburgh has a share of the ACC title in 2022.
The record set by Tony Dorsett has been broken by Israel Abanikanda here.
The Pitt Panthers are going into the next round for the first time in program history.
Welcome back to Pitt to the Point. Thank you as always for joining us. Pitt Titusville has a remarkable program for students to become frontline workers in just a few years.
Our regional campus reporter, Aiden Dean Dunn, has more on the program. Aiden?
Nursing program that's going to challenge you. And it's going to give you an opportunity to be in hospitals and see what a real nursing career is going to look like in practice, and is going to have professors who are there with you every step of the way to make sure that you are confident and comfortable with what you're learning. Then this program at the University of Pittsburgh, Titusville, might be valuable to you. We have nurse and faculty member Elizabeth Flickner here to tell us more about this 2-year program that will result in an associate degree in nursing and ultimately a whole lot more.
Welcome, my name is Elizabeth Flickner. I am one of the nursing faculty here on the Pitt at Titusville campus. Our program is designed as a 2-year program that at the end of that 2 years, our students will have an associate degree. And I think it's so important that our program is a little bit different. For example, especially with mine, but all of our clinical experiences, that your instructor is there with you. So I will be there if you are going to go past medications, if you're going to do anything invasive, right by your side, making sure you're safe and making sure that you feel comfortable, which I think is the biggest thing. I think another big draw for our program is that we talk about NCLEX from day one. It's that big exam at the end. We want to prepare for it from the very beginning, from that first semester. And as we move forward, there will be more tests focusing on the NCLEX. We also will have students complete a live review at the end that will help them really prepare for that final stretch and to be successful. Our students are able to have multiple observations, which I think is wonderful, for example, in the OR or the ER, and that can also help our students see, hey, I think I might want to work there someday, or maybe that area isn't as great as I thought it would be. We have had the privilege to be at Titusville Area Hospital right here in Titusville, which is very convenient for our students. We also spend a lot of time out at UPMC Northwest in their various departments, such as in the OB department, mental health, and then med-surg, and also critical care. It is a very challenging curriculum. I will not sugarcoat that, but I think the benefit is that our students are well prepared after graduation. Student employment is always something that we are so excited to hear about, because our students usually, if not already, have jobs secured before even graduating. The nursing realm just opens up so many possibilities, and no one should really ever feel stuck. My favorite part of this job is when I can meet students at the beginning of the program where they might be a little bit nervous, maybe they've never talked to a client or patient at that point, and then to see them in that final semester and they have that aha moment, then I feel like, okay, I did my job, I'm helping the student grow, and just to see them continue to grow from that point is just so rewarding in itself.
School's a place where you get to figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, and you get the knowledge you need to build yourself the most successful career possible. All these were taken into account when this program was built at the University of Pittsburgh, Titusville. The opportunity is there. Are you going to take it? I'm Aiden Dean Dunn, Regional Campus Reporter for the University of Pittsburgh, Pitt to the Point. Margot, Mia?
Thank you, Aiden. Coming up, Pitt to the Point's political segment covers a former Pittsburgh mayor that still leaves an impact on the city today.
Women's History Month.
Every year, March is designated to honor contributions that women have made in American history.
One particular woman that has made American history is from right here from Pittsburgh.
We are wrapping up today's show with a story about Pittsburgh's most memorable mayor.
Let's hear from our political reporter, Jamie Ely, who has more on the story. Jamie?
A pioneer, an inspiration, and the grandmother of Pittsburgh, Sophie Masloff was truly one of a kind. As the first woman and Jew to serve as mayor of Pittsburgh, Masloff dealt with the city's daunting problems with unparalleled conviction and resilience. Born in 1917 to Romanian immigrants, Masloff spoke only Yiddish until elementary school. Growing up in the Hill District, she attended Fifth Avenue High School before immediately seeking employment. After working for the government for 3 years, she went on to become a clerk at the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas in 1938, where she would serve for 38 years. In 1976, Masloff was elected to the Pittsburgh City Council. After serving on the council for 12 years, she was elected president in 1988. However, a few months after being elected, Mayor Richard Caligari died in office. Since the president of the council was the first in line for succession, Masloff was appointed mayor. Masloff's welcoming was not a warm one. Pittsburgh was in the midst of rapid urban decay, a crumbling steel industry, and some thought Masloff's demeanor was too grandmotherly to face these issues.
I felt that I had a hostile council. I just felt that they were resentful. And I was extremely self-conscious the first few meetings.
However, she grew on people and won a full term uncontested in 1989. The grandmother's reputation quickly turned positive as Mayor Masloff began investing in her city, from privatizing city assets like the Pittsburgh Zoo and Phipps Conservatory, and suggesting both the Pirates and Steelers have their own individual stadiums. She began remaking Pittsburgh into a destination city. Masloff retired in 1993. She represented Pennsylvania as an elector in 1996 and was a delegate to the Democratic National Convention in the 2000s. Despite her death in 2014, she will be remembered as a hero for women everywhere and one of the most impactful figures in Pittsburgh history.
Thanks for that incredible story. Thank you, as always, for coming on Pitt to the Point. We'll be back right after the break.
Is officially back
and in the books.
Stefanski just shoots and he scores. They're the winningest team in Pittsburgh history.
Ball sent in. Sullivan, Pittsburgh, 1-0.
Great strike, Michael Sullivan.
Pittsburgh has a share of the ACC title in 2022.
The record set by Tony Dorsett has been broken by Israel Abanikanda here.
The Pitt Panthers are going into the next round for the first time in program history.
Welcome back. Margot, have you been seeing a lot of furry friends around campus lately?
I sure have. They're just the cutest things, aren't they? Step at Pitt is a program that trains service dogs into going into the real world. Take a look.
So, Canine Companions, nonprofit organization based out in Santa Rosa, California. Essentially, we partner with Canine Companions, so they are our parent organization where we receive all of our dogs from. With that being said, essentially our role for STEP at Pitt is we are volunteer puppy raisers as well as for the organization. And what we kind of do is we provide financial relief for the organization since they are a nonprofit. We provide veterinary care, We feed them, we provide socialization opportunities, we do like 30 commands. Essentially, we kind of get them a good start off before they go back into professional training after 15 to 18 months with us, and then hopefully get matched with their forever person. So for our organization, we actually have about like 5 placements that the dogs could go through. So they could be a hearing dog, a PTSD dog, they could be a skilled companion, which is essentially a service dog but for children, or just doing mobility tasks, so just a general service dog for someone who may be older or young adult. Even though puppy raising is definitely about like the dogs and like getting to know the dogs and sending the dogs on to their forever person, like a really good and amazing aspect for college raisers is the community that you get. There are literally so many people that help you out in so many different ways, whether that be with like training questions or if you need like a friend. Like everyone is so kind and nice, and puppy raising is really an interesting bond that not a lot of people have or understand.
I am so thankful that Pitt has this opportunity for students to train these dogs. I'm looking forward to getting to know some of their trainers soon, hopefully.
I agree. And don't you think college campuses are just the best place to train service dogs?
It calms me down when I see one in class, for sure.
Me too.
For everything from politics to sports, entertainment to medicine, Pitt to the Point is the place to be.
You got that right, Mia. If you want to stay up to date on the latest, be sure to keep tuning in every Friday at 8 a.m. from now until April 21st.
For sure, Margot. You can catch our show every Friday at 8 a.m. on the University of Pittsburgh's YouTube page. If you just so happen to miss it, never fear. You can see a replay of the show at noon every Saturday on CBSN KDKA's streaming platform. And of course, there's more. If you want to see our cute faces and the rest of the crew, check out our social media page at Pitt to the Point.
Mia, do we have a Facebook?
I believe so. My mom's sure a follower. If you want to check out our Facebook, it is at Pitt to the Point.
I will be sure to check that out. Also, Instagram, YouTube. We have a website. We also have a Twitter that feeds live Twitter updates during the show. Isn't that just something, Mia?
It's awesome.
Well, Mia, that brings us to the end of today's show. We hope you tune in next Friday for another exciting show of Pitt to the Point. We want to thank every guest that we had today. Once again, I am Margot Rensel.
And I'm Mia Wadilla. Pitt to the Point is your #1 news source for all things happening at Pitt, all the way
to the point. We can't thank you enough for tuning in this morning on Pitt to the Point. Until next time.